There we go. Class is in session. Better late than never. MLB Hitting the Book Show, Friday, June the 6th. Ian Cameron with you. Connor Mack will be here momentarily. We pushed the start time back by 30 minutes because we wanted to give C-Mac as much time as possible to get home from his appointment. He will be here in a few moments, but we'll get the card rolling, and he'll join us in a little bit as the show rolls on. We got a big Friday MLB slate to talk about. And looking forward to it. So without further ado, let's get into it. We will begin with the Keystone State battle here. Philadelphia Phillies and the Pittsburgh Pirates in this matchup here. Joe Ross on the mound for the Phillies. This guy's been around the block. That's putting it mildly. And we've got Bailey Falter, the lefty, on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Philadelphia minus 130 road favorites, 9 the total, shaded to the under. I think Pittsburgh could be a live dog here. Obviously, Philadelphia did not finish that series well against Toronto. I'm not ready to lay a price on the road with Joe Ross. I know this is obviously a Pittsburgh team that we don't always trust to hit the baseball with this lineup, but Falter's been quietly very solid. He's put up good numbers this season here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh. In fact, very good numbers here at home this season. So I think taking a shot with the home dog here, Pittsburgh is worth it. I split it up here. First 5 money line, full game money line toward Pittsburgh. I think they got a real chance here to take this game here tonight with Falter on the mound. And speaking of Falter, the Phillies kind of faltering lately. So I think Pittsburgh's got a shot here in this one. All right, we move along to Texas and Washington. Patrick Corbin, the lefty, and the former Washington National, taking on Michael Soroka of the Nats. We've got Texas laying a price on the road. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Texas minus 120 road favorites, 9 the total. I say that because Texas has been terrible on the road this season. Awful. I am not laying a price on the road with the Texas Rangers and Patrick Corbin. I can tell you that right now. The only concern with Soroka is he's definitely labored since coming back from his injury stint. You know, he's made 5 starts here in the month of May. He's had a couple of pretty good starts. He's also had some rough ones. He's still trying to work his way back. Corbin's been surprisingly solid, but this Texas team is a brutal 9-21 on the road. They don't hit on the road as well. Their offense has been very bad. To me, this is either you take Washington here as the small home underdog or you pass the game. I don't trust their bats on the road. I'm even not fully trusting Corbin, even though he continues to put up decent numbers. And he has against this Washington team. Now, it was years ago, but struggled against them. For me, it's Washington or nothing here. The only question is, what are you going to get from Soroka? This could be team total over for Washington as well. That's what I did. I didn't want to put everything on Washington on the money line, but the team total over 4.5 for Washington, I think, could be worth a shot here in this game. Worth noting, the Texas bullpen did not pitch well in that series against Tampa Bay, giving up leads, not shutting the door late. So if Washington can get a few early, they might be able to tack on a few late against that Rangers bullpen. So Washington money line team total over split is kind of what I like there with the Rangers and the Nats. All right, on we go now. Next up, we've got the Boston Red Sox taking on the New York Yankees. The old AL East rivalry back on. We've got Walker Buehler on the mound for the Red Sox. Will Warren for the Yankees. Yankees minus 200 home favorites. The total here at 9. I think I do lean Yankees here. I don't trust the Red Sox right now on the road. I don't trust Walker Buehler fully on the road here either. A Boston team where their bullpen has also struggled, and then we saw that in the series against the Angels, losing 2 of 3. They're just 3-7 in their last 10 games. Yankees winning 2 of 3 against Cleveland. Will Warren, believe it or not, at Yankee Stadium, has pitched okay in this ballpark for the most part, and really okay overall. Before that blow-up he had against the Dodgers in his last start, Will Warren had given up 2 runs or less in 4 straight starts. So there's a good chance he can bounce back. Red Sox lineup, kind of up and down. Buehler got roughed up in his last start by the Atlanta Braves, allowing 5 runs on 10 hits and 5.2 innings. So again, my lean here is Yankees, but there's no bet here. It's well priced. I'm not interested in even Will Warren's exceeded my expectations. But that doesn't mean I'm ready to lay minus a 200 price with him here in this spot. So Yankees probably get the win, but it's a pass for me with this one. All right, we continue along. Arizona, Cincinnati. We got a battle of lefties on the mound here. Eduardo Rodriguez for the Diamondbacks, Nick Lodolo for the Reds. Arizona, rather, a slight road favorite here, about minus 115, and the total here sitting at 9.5. Total's gone up a bit. I could see it. The problem is the Reds' offense is sometimes very, very flighty. That's a good word for it, flighty. You expect them to hit, and they don't. And we kind of saw that in the finale against Milwaukee. I thought it was set up nicely for them, and they just couldn't get anything going against Priester and Hall, the first two pitchers that pitched in that game for the Brewers, and the Reds really couldn't get anything going. Lodolo's been pretty solid, 3.13 ERA for the Reds. He has been a little bit hittable. He's actually been better on the road, Nick Lodolo, than at home. Here in Cincy, he's given up 6 runs in his last 10.1 innings, which isn't great. So we'll see if Arizona can have some success. I don't trust Eduardo Rodriguez. He's given up 4 runs or more in 5 straight starts. All 5 of those games, by the way, each of the last 5 Eduardo Rodriguez starts have gone over the total. So I played over 9 here. I know the Reds' offense can sometimes be dicey. Outside of the 4-2 win against Milwaukee in the middle game of that series, they have scored 3 or less in 4 of their last 5 games. But yeah, Eduardo Rodriguez has just not been in very good form. 5 straight starts by him have gone over. So a warm night, too, here in Cincinnati. So over 9. It's gone up to 9.5 in a lot of spots. But, yeah, I did play the over here with the Diamondbacks and the Reds. All right. And by the way, the Arizona bullpen had to be used quite a bit in that series against Atlanta. What an amazing comeback for them yesterday against the Atlanta Braves. Just shocking to see how that one turned in the 9th inning with that 7-run 9th inning to come back from down 10-4 to beating Atlanta 11-10. Just a crazy comeback by Arizona. We'll see if they can keep it rolling, keep that momentum going here into this game tonight. All right, Houston, Cleveland. We got Gordon taking on Allen here in the matchup from a pitching standpoint. Astros about a minus 130 road favorite. The total here, 8 shaded to the under here in this game. This is probably one where with Colton Gordon is someone that we're going to have to see a little bit more from him. The early returns have been so-so. 3 runs in 5 innings has kind of been the MO for Colton Gordon. Getting these spot starts here for the Houston Astros, not the greatest of numbers. Logan Allen, meanwhile, here in Cleveland, he's pitched pretty solidly on the road. He's had some bumps, but like with some of these Guardians pitchers, it can be a little bit better at home than on the road. So you look at both teams as far as the lineup is concerned. The Astros, outside of that 8-run outburst against Pittsburgh, they've been scoring 3 runs or less in the majority of their games. The Guardians really haven't been hitting all that great. They scored just 6 runs in 3 games of their series against the New York Yankees this week. So this could be an under here. I just don't know if I love the quality of the starters enough to bet it. I kind of want to bet the 2 lineups and their form under the total. Do I trust Gordon and Logan Allen enough? Is the other, but I still do lean to this game, maybe staying under the total here tonight between the Astros and the Guardians. But I didn't make a bet on this game. It's a pass. I just lean to the under. All right, next up, Cubs, Tigers. We've got Brown on the mound here for the Chicago Cubs. What can Brown do for you? Ben Brown, that is. Tariq Skubal for the Tigers. We've got Detroit minus 195, 200 home favorites, and the total here sitting at 7. Pretty much across the board. This is probably Tigers' first 5 full game run line, if anything, with Skubal. Clearly has the edge over Ben Brown. I don't think we're splitting the atom figuring that one out with Ben Brown's 5.79 ERA, which is just not very good. 14 runs allowed in his last, 9 innings pitched, which is pretty bad against the Reds and the Marlins. That's the Reds and the Marlins that have done, significant damage here against Ben Brown. So I don't want anything to do with the Cubs and Ben Brown in this spot. 3 straight overs. What do you get from Skubal? Well, if the last 2 starts are any indication, dominance is what you're going to get from Tariq Skubal. He hasn't given up an earned run in 16 consecutive innings over 2 starts against the Royals and the Guardians. Now, those aren't 2 great lineups by any stretch, but still it shows how the dominance of Tariq Skubal's been so far this year. I guess the only concern would be for the overall majority of the year, Cubs against lefties have been pretty solid. That has not been the case as much, though, lately. In the last 10 games, this Chicago Cubs lineup is hitting just 183 as a team and averaging just 2.5 runs per game against lefties. So I'd look at a Cubs team total under and or Detroit first 5 run line, full game run line. Believe it or not, I didn't bet the game because I really think this is a big price to be giving a team like the Chicago Cubs, who have a 39-23 record. Like, they're only 2 wins less than Detroit, who have a solid road record as well. They have a 19-12 winning mark away from Wrigley Field, and you're giving them this kind of a price. It's the only reason I didn't bet Detroit in any fashion, but clearly I don't trust Brown enough in this spot. You could maybe look at a Tigers team total over if you trust that Ben Brown's going to get hit once again, which has obviously been the case with 14 runs allowed in his last 2 starts combined. But I didn't bet anything, surprisingly, even though it feels like it's Detroit all the way. I just didn't like that. The value wasn't great with any of these bets. The money line wasn't great value. The team total, even with Detroit, wasn't great value. So that is why I ended up passing here on this game. All right, before we continue, C-Mac will hopefully be along in just a few moments. Shout out to the chat, Old E, Timothy Hake, Brian Elfring, Nick Elvento, Gerald Jones, Wine Time Sports. Of course, you can see him as well on Jimmy's show, Betting with the Bag. Good to see you at Wine Time in the chat. Good to see all of you in the chat, and I hope you're enjoying your Friday. I hope you enjoy the weekend ahead, and hopefully we've got some good results on the betting board coming for everybody this weekend. All right, let's continue along here. Next up, we have, there we go. We got Kansas City and the Chicago White Sox. We've got Lugo, Seth Lugo, Davis Martin on the mound here. Royals minus 135, road favorites, 8 the total. I'm telling you what, a lot of love for the White Sox here. This price has come all the way down from an opener of Kansas City minus 170 down to the Royals just laying minus 135. And look, the White Sox had a nice series, believe it or not, against Detroit earlier this week. Signs of life, signs of positive direction for this White Sox team. Can they keep it going now is going to be the question here. Davis Martin, 3.71 ERA. The numbers aren't great, but like I said, White Sox with 2 of 3 wins against Detroit to end that series. The Royals aren't exactly great. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They have a losing road record, 14-7, and here they are, as a sizable road favorite. Maybe people see that, as to why they like Chicago here. And I tell you what, Lugo hasn't been phenomenal in his last 2 starts at home against Detroit and Boston, allowing 7 runs in 9.1 innings. That's not a great last couple of starts. Davis Martin has given up 2 runs or less 3 of his last 4 starts. And more importantly than that, his last 2 here in Chicago gave up 2 runs in 7 innings against Seattle, 2 runs in 6 innings against Texas. He pitched very well here. So I get the reasons to maybe take a shot with the White Sox. Yeah, bad team, but at the end of the day, they won 2 of 3 at home against Detroit. And if you can do that against Detroit, Kansas City's not as good as Detroit. And like I said, Lugo has not looked sharp or at his best here, 2 starts in a row where he's been hit around a little bit. Maybe you can get there with Chicago. I did not bet this game, but I get the reasoning for maybe taking a shot here with the White Sox. The reason I didn't is because Kansas City has won 10 straight against the White Sox. I mean, they have completely owned this series. Kansas City has utterly dominated the Chicago White Sox, and I am a little bit worried that might continue. All right, on we go to San Diego and Milwaukee. We've got Randy Vasquez, Chad Patrick, the pitching matchup here. Milwaukee minus 140, 45 home favorites, 8.5 the total. I like the Brewers here. They're one of the hottest teams in baseball. San Diego's not been great on the road. I've seen enough from Chad Patrick to think he's a very serviceable, capable starting pitcher. He's been very good here at Miller Park, given up just 4 runs in his 14.2 innings of work in this ballpark over his last 3 starts. And his last start in Philly was pretty solid. 2 runs, 5 hits, 6 innings against the Phillies. Brewers are just playing great ball. I mean, what can you say? The run's been great, 9-1 in their last 10 games, 18-10 at home. San Diego goes on the road where they're a lousy 15-16, considering that they've got a 35-26 overall mark, but they've been feasting at Petco. They're still 1 game below 500 on the road. So I like the Brewers here, minus 140. here in this game. I think the price is, as long as it's below that number of minus 150, I'm okay with taking the Milwaukee Brewers at this price. So, yeah, Milwaukee minus 140 is on my card here tonight. Like the price. Prefer Patrick a little bit over Randy Vasquez. And really, to be honest with you, Padres have not played good ball on the road for a very long time now. Haven't been hitting consistently on the road either. So I like Milwaukee here, minus 140 against the San Diego Padres here tonight. All right, we continue along. Toronto and Minnesota. We've got Paxton Schultz here for the Toronto Blue Jays. Getting the start tonight. He's gotten a couple of spot starts for them. Bailey Ober for the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota minus 135. Home favorites, 8.5 the total. Jays in good form. Minnesota coming back home after being on the West Coast and finishing a series against the Athletics in Sacramento. I don't love the scheduling spot here for the Twins or laying minus 135 against a Toronto team playing well. But I don't know if I'm fully trustworthy of really a guy that's been a journeyman in Paxton Schultz. Although, to his credit, 2.2 innings of scoreless baseball when we saw him start against Texas the last time. And also what I'm concerned about with taking Toronto, even though I'm leaning Blue Jays, Bailey Ober's pitched pretty well here at home at Target Field. 2 runs in 5 innings against Baltimore. 1 run in 6.2 innings against Kansas City in his last home start. He has pitched pretty solid here at Target Field. Minnesota's got an excellent home record, 18-8 on the season here at Target Field. So it's just, as you can tell by the way I'm talking, I've got conflicting arguments both ways, side and total for that matter. It can make a good argument for the under. Bailey Ober's kind of been trending under in his home starts. Toronto, though, is on this kind of an overwave. I mean, Toronto's crazy where they've gone on overheaters. Then they were on this massive, torrid underheater when they couldn't hit a lick just a couple of weeks ago when they played Tampa and Texas. They couldn't hit. And all of a sudden they can't score and their games are going under. And now all of a sudden here, the 2 home series against the A's and the Phillies, and they're flying over the total again. So, yeah, Toronto, Minnesota, over, under. When I can make a decent argument for both sides and I can make a decent argument for both totals, that tells me I should pass, and that's exactly what I'm doing here with the Blue Jays and the Twins here tonight. If I would prefer Jays and over, but like I said, I don't love it here in this particular spot. All right, we continue along here. Next up, we've got the Dodgers and the Cardinals. We've got Robleski, the lefty, here on the mound for the L.A. Dodgers. Justin Robleski. Sunny, yesterday my life was filled with rain. Sonny Gray for the St. Louis Cardinals. We've got St. Louis minus 120. Home favorites, 8.5 being the total here in this game. I worry about this scheduling spot for the Dodgers. You just got through playing back-to-back series at home at Dodger Stadium against the 2 New York teams, the Yankees and the Mets. You had history with both of those teams. You played one in the World Series. You played the other in the NLCS last year. 2 very hyped series, 2 big-time series, 2 exhausting series, back-to-back at home against the Yankees and the Mets. A thrilling comeback 6-5 win yesterday for the Dodgers against the Mets to finish that series. And now you're going on the road here to face the St. Louis Cardinals. Just from a pure spot perspective, I don't know if it's a great spot here for the Dodgers. And the Dodgers are another team. Like so many of these other teams, they've got a very good overall record, but a lot of the damage has been at home. Dodgers just 1 game above 500 on the road this year. We'll see what we get out of Robleski making this spot start. It's going to be probably a reliever by committee type of game here for the L.A. Dodgers. Meanwhile, for the St. Louis Cardinals, we got Sonny Gray on the mound, who he had one just brutal outing against the Philadelphia Phillies. But besides that, he's been pretty sturdy, pretty solid. You look at him here at Busch Stadium. Last start against Texas was a gem, 10 strikeouts, shutout ball in 7 innings. He gave up just 3 runs at home against Arizona, shut out Detroit in 6 innings. He shut out Pittsburgh in 7 innings. All those games were here at Busch Stadium. So I think the Cardinals are favored here for a reason. I do lean to the Cardinals here, minus 120. I did not bet this, but I think I might. This is a game I might add to my card. I have not bet it yet, but I think I'm talking myself into St. Louis here a little bit. I think it's a bit of a tricky spot. Dodgers off the 2 series against the Yankees and the Mets. Big-time series, big comeback yesterday. And I think the Cardinals definitely have a little bit of a spot advantage here in this game. Plus, Sonny Gray's been really good, including here at Busch Stadium this year. So definitely Cardinals are passed for me in that game, and probably will add the Cardinals to my card in some fashion here. All right, on we go to the Mets and the Rockies. We've got Kodai Senga, and it looks like a pitching change. It was supposed to be Senzatella for the Rockies. It's Ryan Rollison instead, a lefty who's going to make a spot start here for Colorado. The Mets minus 280, road favorites, 10.5 the total here in this game. I mean, let's get the fire hydrants out. Put this team out. They're on fire all of a sudden. I'm talking about the Colorado Rockies, that is. They figured out finally. It took them until early June, damn near 2 months, how to win multiple games in a row, how to put string wins together. But my goodness, they finally did it. And not just did it, they swept all 3 games of their series against the Miami Marlins. So what can you say about Colorado? Look out. They got a heater going. 3 straight wins. To improve to a gaudy 12-50 on the season. So we'll see how this one plays out. Senga for the New York Mets, 4 wins in his last, or the Mets have won 4 of his last 5 starts as a team. He's been really good. I mean, what else can you say? He's given his team a chance to win every time he's taken the mound. He has given up a grand total of just 6 earned runs allowed by Kodai Senga in his last damn near 30 innings pitched. So he's been really, really strong for the Mets. Now, he has not pitched in Coors, and we sometimes are leery of backing those starters who have never pitched at Coors Field before because it's a totally different kettle of fish. You got to be able to show you can get the job done here in a ballpark like this. We'll see if Senga can do it. We've got Ryan Rollison getting the spot start here, 27 years old. He's first-round pick a long time ago, 4.5 ERA in a bullpen role for Colorado this year. 5 runs, 10 hits, and 10 innings. None of those numbers are great. So this is probably, it's not probably, it is. I took the Mets team total here, over 6.5. A full game over, I lean that way. Justin likes the full game over. I lean that way, but I'm concerned if the Rockies do their part. If the Rockies are able to do their part offensively here against Kodai Senga. I'd rather trust in the Mets to do most of the damage. So that's why I'm going to go with the Mets team total here, over 6.5 in that plus 100, minus 110 range. Again, I know they've won 3 in a row, but when the Rockies lose, they typically give up a lot of runs, especially here at home. They've given up a lot of runs in their home losses. So we'll see how they go here. But like I said, Mets team total, we'll get in on that for a little bit here at 6.5. All right, we've got just, looks like a few games left, three games left. They're all the late games here on the Friday slate. We'll go to Seattle and the LA Angels. We've got Bryce Miller and Kyle Hendricks, the pitching matchup here in this AL West battle. We've got Seattle minus 135, road favorites here at Angel Stadium. The total here is, it was 9. It's up to 9.5 now at the majority of places. So shop around. There are a couple 9s still out there. So make sure you shop around when it comes to this total. Over for me. I think it's an over game. When you look at these 2 lineups, when you look at Bryce Miller, it's really same old with him. He's not a guy that I trust on the road at all. In fact, he's not a guy I trust at all because you usually could rely on Bryce Miller to pitch well in Seattle. Many of those Mariners pitchers are great at home, bad on the road. Bryce Miller's been bad everywhere. We know he's always struggled on the road. Last 2 starts at home haven't even been that good. Gave up 3 runs, 5 hits, 4 innings against the Twins in his last start at home. Before that, Toronto just crushed him in Seattle. 7 runs, 8 hits, 5 innings. So Bryce Miller's just not been good anywhere of late. So I think the Angels can do some damage. The Angels lineup starting to pick it up. That Boston series, they were very good. 20 runs in the 3 games. So again, it's a team that they couldn't hit for a while. They were red hot at the plate, then they went cold. Now they're heating up again, the Angels. So, Yeah, I think they can get to Bryce Miller, who's just not been in good form. And this Mariners bullpen has not been good lately either. 4.66 ERA on the season, but 7.13 ERA in the last 10 games for this Mariners bullpen. That's not good. I don't think highly of Hendricks. I don't trust him all that much. And yeah, has he been terrible? No, but still 5.4 ERA his last 5 starts. He's given up 3 runs or more in 5 straight starts. Seattle should do some damage here against him as well. The Angels used their bullpen quite a bit in the Boston series. So you put it all together, I think runs are on the menu here tonight. So I like Mariners Angels over 9.5, whatever you look at here in this game. I lean Angels money line, Nick. The Angels team total makes sense. I definitely think they have a chance to win this game. I'm just always leery of backing Hendricks. And Seattle's lineups boom or bust. They can strike, and they were rolling, a month ago, but they have cooled off a bit. I think they can do enough for the full game over. But I get liking the Angels here in some form as well, or the team total for the Angels. All right, on we go. We've got the Orioles and the A's. Dean Kramer against, I don't think we've got a pitcher at the moment here for the A's. Well, it was supposed to be J.P. Sears. We'll have to wait on that. But right now it's Baltimore minus 130, road favorites, 10.5. I don't even give 2 shits who starts for the A's. I like the over here, even at 10.5. This is just an utter over machine right now, the Athletics. Their pitching is awful, but they can hit and certainly leave the yard in this ballpark. They can hit home runs. J.P. Sears has kind of gone downhill again a little bit. He's given up. It's been rough. I mean, he has given up 21 runs in his last 4 starts. 21 runs in his last 5, 10, 4, 17.1 innings. So if it is J.P. Sears, that is definitely. I don't trust him. And Baltimore's starting to hit. Baltimore, we always expected Baltimore to be able to hit this year, despite the horrible season they've had. But now they are starting to hit. And look, they're heating up. We were waiting for the time when Baltimore would start to get on a run. We know they underachieved. We know they're a better team than what the record was. And now starting to hit. They scored 12 runs in the 3 games against Seattle. We'll see if that continues. We would only look at the Orioles here in this game. Dean Kramer has been better. 1 run in his last 11.1 innings of work against Boston and the White Sox. But on the road, he's had his issues. He has not been as good on the road all season. So I do believe the A's can do enough offensively to help this game get over the total. We know the A's bullpen is just in shambles. It's a horrendous unit right now. And to be honest with you, the Baltimore bullpen has had their share of issues all year. They've been better lately, but again, the A's at home are capable of hitting, and they showed that in the Minnesota series. Even though they lost 2 of the games, they did so. Even though they lost 3 of 4 to Minnesota, let's keep in mind that they were still able to score 4 in a couple of them, and then they got 14, in the final game yesterday. So over 10.5 for me. It's Baltimore from a side perspective. Probably a smaller bet for me on the Orioles, just riding the hot hand with that. But I definitely like the over more of the 2 here in this game. All right, our final game. I guess we're not going to have CMAC, our guy, today. But he did have an appointment, and he did warn me he may miss the show, depending on traffic and all that. But regardless, we'll wrap up the show. And without him today, I'm sure he'll be back on Monday on the show. All good. We've got Atlanta and San Francisco. The Braves minus 135, road favorites, 7.5 the total in this game. What a brutal loss for Atlanta against Arizona. I mean, they were up 10-4 in the 9th inning yesterday. The bullpen blows it. They lose 11-10. They've now lost 4 in a row. They get swept at home by Arizona. They're 2-8 in their last 10 games. Now they got to make a long trip with no day off out to the Bay Area and take on this San Francisco Giants team at Oracle Park. Not exactly a team that I'm ready to trust right now. That's a tough spot, and you're not playing well. Your bullpen just absolutely shit the bed hard. That was a disgrace by the Atlanta Braves yesterday in the 9th inning against the Arizona Diamondbacks. If you watch Jimmy the Bag Show, I like the over in that game, so it was nice not to sweat that game yesterday, Atlanta and Arizona. Yeah, I like Schwellenbach. I mean, I'm telling you what, if you want to stop a losing streak, this might be the guy you want on the mound for the Braves. He's been good. They're 4-1 in his last 5 starts. He was dominant against Boston in his last start, but the problem is it's everything else with the Braves, and especially the bullpen that I'm worried about here. So, and traveling after a loss like that, all the way to the West Coast, do I want to run out there and lay minus 135 on the road? I'm not so sure about that here. And meanwhile, Birdsong here for San Francisco, he's actually been pretty solid. The 3 starts we've seen from him, he's given up just 5 runs in 14, 15 innings. That's pretty solid from Birdsong since he's been in the rotation here for the Giants. So first 5 under could be the play here, because I don't know how you take a full game under with Atlanta's bullpen right now. That's how bad it is at the moment. But first 5 under could get there. I expect Schwellenbach to pitch well, and it's not like the Giants' offense has been great of late. They have not been. And I think Birdsong can maybe keep Atlanta's lineup in check early. So I think I lean under, but I think I've got to stick more to the first 5 under, because that Atlanta bullpen, after what I saw yesterday, how do you want to have anything to do with them? Here he is, C-Mac. He is here. He's in the house, ready to rock here for the tail end of the show. C-Mac, anything here that you like with this game, Braves and Giants?
Yeah, I think it's a tough spot for the Braves. That's blowing that game was just awful yesterday, and losing at the bullpen is bad. I have decided I like first 5, the 4.5s. The 4s is big juice. Now there's 3.5s. I think both cash. I think this is just an under. I think Birdsong would be good enough. I don't trust the bats. Giants just haven't been hitting. And, they won 3-2 yesterday, but I don't know how they really get anything done. And at least you want Schwellenbach on the mound here, where he's been solid even on the road, to keep things down. So I like that. I think there's some value, too, on the Giants in the spot a little bit, even though they can't hit. I don't know what we get with the Braves. The Braves on the road, 10-20. The Giants have been decent at home, even though, earlier in the year, the bats were really, really well. And we talked about the Braves bullpen just has been horrible and depleted. That's true. All bullpens are going to go through it, but they've been, a 10 to 15 bullpen all year long, even better. So, yeah, I like the under here. I like the Giants, too, a little bit.
All right, good stuff indeed. There we go, Braves and Giants. All right, Jack of the day for this Friday slate. I'm going to throw one out there right away. Addison fucking Barger, the Toronto Blue Jays. Finally bet him. And he continues to just come through. It's really remarkable, the run that he's on, hitting at the moment. So I like Addison Barger for the Toronto Blue Jays here. Soderstrom against Dean Kramer for the Athletics. I think that's probably a good one as well. I expect runs in that Orioles-A's game, like usual with an A's game. So, I definitely think we could see some home run potential there in that game. Lawrence Butler. The Butler did it. Adley Rutschman starting to heat up, and he's homered if Sears gets the start, that is, for the A's. But he's homered off Sears in the past. Adley Rutschman, his bat is starting to get going, so that might be worth a look. Rowdy Tellez has a homer against Kyle Hendricks in the past for the Seattle Mariners, so that's one I'm interested in. So those are some of the Jack of the day for me for this Friday night. C-Mac, anything home run wise that you're liking?
Yeah, to touch on one of those last games, I haven't bet the Orioles, but I think there's kind of the only way to go. Finally, won 6 in a row? Yep. Is it 5 or 6?
Yeah.
So
hey, if you're serious about trying to get back into this thing and save your season, you got to think 2 of 3
you got to win here
or sweep these guys. Yeah.
Yes. So total's a little weird. We haven't seen too many 11s. Now 10.5. And what do we get from the A's? Who's just finally break out and score 14. And Kramer, his last start was very good, right? Even his last 2 have been pretty good. Anyways, I thought the price was a little bit high.
But on the road has been his issue, and I noted that. That's been more of his problem.
Yeah. But anyways, I was leaning to that. That was the last game. Talk to the Jacks. Cody Bellinger. He's only 1 for 2 with a homer, but he homered last night. I like here. Plus 425. That was about it. Taylor Ward. I think the best number is just plus 380 I found. He's 4 for 10. That's a game, real quick. I like the over in Angels Mariners with those 2 pitchers. Yep. I know it's 9.5, but I think Mariners at home, not scoring runs, kind of get back on the road and try to get going because their offense hasn't been great. And we know these bullpens, especially the Angels, can give it up late with the starters. So over there, that's it. I'll just give you those two. I have a couple others, but that's it.
Yeah, I'll give you one. 2 homers against Buehler for Trent Grisham of the Yankees. So there's another one to keep an eye on. Trent Grisham here for the New York Yankees, as far as being able to hit Walker Buehler, which is something he's been able to do in the past. So definitely there. Another one I'll throw out there. Before we get to, well, actually, you know what, Connor Mack, I'll turn it over to you right now. All the games you joined us for the Braves Giants. You mentioned a couple of the other games you liked, but any other games you liked that before you got in on the show, and also give us your best bet. Floor is yours. It's Connor Mack time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to take too long. I had an appointment go way too long today. So.
They all do.
Well, it depends. Would I go? And you know what I mean. So, I got shit to do, man. But anyways, Cardinals. The line just moved too much. Now, it's gone all the way to minus 130. That's the one last night that I was at even money. I'm like, I think this moves, but I didn't think it moved that much. That was about it. I kind of like the Blue Jays plus 120. Royals, White Sox under 8 in that game. That's it. I almost moved. I just can't do it. Yankees are playing to unders. I like that Red Sox Yankees. I think there's going to be runs, but this would be a great game to do it with Warren and Buehler, but I couldn't do it in the end. Like I talked about, Yankees just unders. Even the series has gone under a little bit more between the Yankees and Red Sox as of late. No more 4.5-hour Yankee Red Sox games, of course, anymore. Best bet, I'll throw it out.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, just best bet. I'll post it out there too. I forgot to put juice on these. Anyways, Braves, Giants. Give me the under. Full game, 7.5. I got minus 105. It's a little higher juice now, but give me the full game.
All right, there you go. Atlanta, San Francisco, under 7.5 for CMAC with best bet for this Friday slate. My best bet, there are 9s out there, and I think CMAC mentioned he liked it. I already picked it out as my best bet, and I'm going with it. Let's go Mariners, Angels over 9, minus 120. Bryce Miller used to pitch well at home. He's not even pitching well at home anymore, and we know he's never pitched that well on the road, and of course he's going to be on the road tonight. He hasn't pitched well anywhere lately, Bryce Miller. So I think the Angels can do damage, and I don't trust Kyle Hendricks fully, so I think Seattle's bats can come to life here as well. Neither bullpen has been dominant lately. Mariners, Angels, over 9, minus 120 for my best bet for this Friday. There we go. Shout out to the chat. Nick Alvento, Old E, Timothy Ake, Daniel Abuna, Justin McKelvey. Appreciate everybody here. Brian Elfring, Gerald Jones. Thank you to everyone for joining us. Hit the like button on the way out. Another week in the books, and we'll be back with you on Monday. Once again, looking forward to it. Hope you all have a great weekend. For Connor Mack, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Friday night and a great weekend. Enjoy the games, and good luck. We will be back Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, for another edition of the MLB Hitting the Books show. Until then, class dismissed.